Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, boys and girls. How are you all doing? Hope we're well. Got the coffee on the brew. Getting a few auctions listed before we get cracking. Before we get doing some stuff. I'm actually thinking we might... In fact, I don't know what I'm thinking. Kind of want to finish off as much of the Void Assault stuff as possible today. I really don't think there's much I need to do before we land in the world of time-gated stuff. But if we don't get this stuff posted, we'll never sell it. Oh my god, I'm going to sneeze. God, I hate sneezing. I bet somebody could probably clip up about 500 different times I've sneezed on stream. I don't know what it is. Soon as I hit, I don't sneeze normally. Like, I basically never sneeze until I turn the stream on and start chatting with you guys, and then my head falls off. Yo, BM Hunter with a 140 stream streak. Whoa, hold up. Hold up, the 140 stream streak. Woo! Cracking performance. Thank you, my man. Appreciate that. Right. I assume it's the light in your... I mean, it could be. I don't know. I have the two spotlights up here, but they're... Oh, God. Hang on. Please hold. Righty. It's got to have something to do with the fact it's the first time I, like, properly talk in the day. My wife's in Helsinki. She's off into the office today. And so she got up early and she left the house this morning. So I've probably not actually said anything. Maybe it's partly that. It gets to 11 o'clock in the morning and I've not actually even said a word to anybody. I start talking and my nose is like, hello. Tell him here, how we doing? Welcome in. Good morning, good morning. So I think it's going to be a bit of a scorcher here today. I'm pretty glad I get to sit indoors and play video games for most of it because it's already about 23 degrees outside and it's barely getting going today. But let's start the day like we mean to go on. Let's double check our patron orders. Otherwise we are never going to catch up on these knowledge points and we are going to be professional slackers and nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. I have only one achievement that is still technically obtainable in the, what is it, Val or something? New zone, I can never remember its name. Nige, Tal and Val or something, aren't they? One achievement I can technically still get, which I might go and try and hunt down. Oh god, these are gross. How grim are my jewel crafting patron orders? 600 gold, 700 gold, 700 gold. Ouch. If I wasn't made of money, I probably wouldn't be doing these. We can spend 5,000 gold and a whole bunch of concentration to lose 600 gold. But we'll get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 jewel crafting knowledge points. Guess it's kind of worth it for 600 gold, isn't it? Guess it's worth. Down to 22 here. Cloudy, even a few drops of rain. I think we're getting that over the next couple of days. I think today's the last warm day. Next couple of days are a little bit more mellow. But I can't complain too much because it's not like 30 plus here. It's still more than manageable. What happened to all the diamonds? Who stole all of the diamonds? Well, that's an interesting move. That's a very interesting move. Right, let's see if we can get lucky with some procs on these and keep the losses to a minimum. Interesting we didn't see a jeweler's setting for Season 2. We didn't really have one for Season 1. And actually, for Season 1, people were taking them even less frequently because people were taking bonus rolls instead. Been a bit weird for the old gem sockets. It's really hard to quantify this stuff, though, because there's no real data tracked on this, and there's nothing to really compare against. But, I've had a pretty strong... Well, you look at the concentration value of high-quality gems, that goes to show you that there's really not all that many. There's not all that much demand for them. Okay, we lost a fair amount of gold on that haul, but should be plenty of knowledge points for our efforts. What have we got with leatherworking? Any success on this side of the pond? Gold. Oh, gold. Not really. I'm not spending 1,000 gold on a couple of knowledge points. Not at this point. 3,000 gold for 2 knowledge points. Mad. Providing absolutely nothing. Love to not see it. Not spending 1,000 points on a single knowledge point. This bananas. Wow. Okay. Kind of getting a bit skamazed on leatherworking, which is a shame. If you don't do the patron orders, you get catch up on the missing points by opening... No, it's the other way around. If you don't pick up the treasures, you get catch up via patron orders. Patron order system is the only catch up system. Just have some spares. It's probably cheap right now, isn't it? How we doing, Omni? Welcome in. Good morning, good morning. I usually only do the profitable ones, but if I make enough profit on a handful, I'll, take a loss on a couple. My theory really is I don't want the professions, leveling up the professions and gaining knowledge points to cost me gold, but I also don't care if it makes me gold. So, I'm willing to take a few wins with a few losses, if that makes sense. How we doing, Chalina? Welcome in. Good morning, good morning. Your flipping power wash simulator, by the way. Every time I drop by occasionally. I don't always say hello. I like to let you do your thing. Every time I drop by and I see you doing power washing simulator, I get the urge to boot it up and do some power washing. The funny thing is I've got some real life power washing I've been putting off for about 3 weeks. I need to power wash my fence because there's trees above the fence and the trees drop their sap and it's a white fence and it doesn't stay white for more than about a year. So it needs to get blasted so it looks sensible. I've blasted 2 out of the 8 panels. Now the wife is getting at me because I haven't done the other 6 yet, but it takes flipping ages. For some reason, it's far more fun to do it in a video game than it is to do it in real life. It's, So I kind of feel silly sitting here playing power washing when I've actually got real power washing I need to do. Great game, though. It's weirdly therapeutic. Don't know what it is about it. Right, give me all my knowledge points then. Very few. Out of all of those orders, we only actually got 2 catch-up points for our professions. Ouch. Primal Fire, 600 gold. Corium, 300 gold. Need to go do some outland mining and lumbering. There's some pretty spicy prices still. The frustration is just the drop rate. Drop rate on them is just terrible. You know, as a single item, it's got a big number, but the fact you can get like only a handful an hour, you know, in the grand scheme of things, there's a reason why they're worth so much. But still, if you're short of options, it's a pretty good one. Two more gem unlocks. And 18 more knowledge points until we've at least unlocked all of the gems. The Outland Endeavor's alive, meaning the mobs in Outland are level 9. Oh, yeah, that might cause difficulty in farming. War map prices are mostly nuts, except for the WOD ones. I'm pretty convinced to this day that garrisons are still semi-automated by people. Just because it's entirely instanced and mostly goes probably completely under the radar. Even though, like, it makes pennies, I still think there's it's probably one of those things that can just be very easy botted. The farm bug in you. Lumber's got to be your best option though, right? Surely keep the stacks nice and high. God, we're doing all right with leatherworking, you know. I know I've not put any points in the outsides of these, but you kind of technically don't need to, unless you are actually genuinely trying to sit there in trade chat and like spam orders all day. You don't really need the points in these outer ones, especially considering what else you're going to spend your concentration on in leatherworking anyway. We're doing all right, you know. It probably looks more impressive than it actually is, but we've got the Flawless Forge tree full, done. GG, well played. We got all of the mail recipes fully unlocked. And we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 8 of the leather ones unlocked. And even learn leatherworking has full points in it. Like, this is a crazy position to be in, that after nearly only season 1, I'm actually just kind of like at the point where I can mostly not care about getting leatherworking knowledge points anymore. Leatherworking's a big one. We've managed to keep up with this reasonably well. I need a little add-on that counts the amount of knowledge points we've actually obtained. This just shows us what you're missing. Dual crafting we're not doing too badly with as well, because I've put points into both the rings and the necklaces to the point where we can use the optional reagents. Also, you know, basically meaning we can fill public orders on these, if nothing else. I haven't put any points yet into the profession tools, but you technically don't need to. You can, once again, use concentration to max craft these. without any points in there. By the time you've put 30 points in the accessories, that's enough. For the odd occasional time I might need to craft one. Where have they gone? Like one of these, for example. You know, just enough points to say, alright, I'll just use all of my concentration. Boom, hey presto, magic. Wherever needed. These were high quality, it would be past this. Doing alright on the knowledge points, I think. Considering it's still season 1. Right, coffee. Absolutely need coffee. Look at those three. Looking at me all funny. Looking at me all funny. What's up, puppy dogs? Where's Doge Cam anyway? We're missing some Doge Cam action. This is the big ugly me camera. Don't need a big ugly me camera. Doesn't look like puppy cam actually works. Why be that then? Somebody eating through the flipping cable. There we go. There's a puppy cam. The difference in quality between a nice SLR camera and a shitty webcam is actually crazy. They're having fun in here today. Yeah, standing up, they all think that something interesting is happening. I hate to disappoint them, but it's just coffee time. How are we doing, Loot Fever, though? You good? Moo's knowledge point tracker does the remaining count. Is that what this orange number is? The orange number is probably how many still remaining. $400 needed still with leatherworking, 383 still with jewel crafting. Alright, in that case then we're still quite some ways off. Let's not get too excited yet then. I want to farm up some dark particles. I want to farm up a few more dark particles because oh, it's a bag item, isn't it? ATT, shift click on dark particle. Where are you? So, these bulging bags, right? These bulging bags are pretty profitable still, surprisingly. Very surprisingly, because I'm kind of amazed with how many people are doing... the void stuff at the moment. Kind of surprised that these bags are still, or the items that come from these bags are still like popping. It's kind of crazy. I feel as if I need to put together better TSM groups for these, which is kind of why I've popped this list out a little bit. They make the lost armament stuff. And I might subcategorize these by which ones are in which bags. Not particularly for any great reason, but just because I think it's a easy way to do it. Now, is there a way? Can I search base group? Can I search base group for... No, I can only search for the actual item name. we can do a lot of this. Battle Shaman Staff. Blood Oath Tome. Okay, there's also going to be a slight issue here that I've got a bunch of stuff in the groups already. Blood Oath Tome. You see the new trading post items are very Goblin Undermine themed? I did, yeah, I did. They are weirdly Undermine themed, aren't they? It's like, have Blizzard forgot what expansion we're in? What if they put those out now? It's kind of like, what? It's kind of an odd one, isn't it? Alright, let's start with these again. There's probably a quicker way to do this, but I don't know what it is. Curved Blade of the Drained Lower. The only other thing is I'm hoping that I don't actually have any of the appearances of these yet. They're all unique appearances, and I don't think I've learned any of them, so... Forest Berserker's Hatchet. Forest Shaman Voodoo Staff. Forest Stalker's Bow. Frost Deep Spider's Fang. I apologise for the dog barking. They'll relax at some point. This is the this is the downside of having aircon on in here. The dogs don't realise it's stupid degrees. They're almost too comfortable. Armani Hex Crest. Hex Horn Buckler. Okay, so that should be all of the ones from the Armani bag. I just wanted to take like a quick look at the average sale values of these. 6,500, 9,500, 9,000, 5,000, 5, 8, 5, 9, 5, 9, 10, 12. 5, 5, 10, 10, 10. I would say the average sale price, there's lots of 5s, there's lots of 10s, which, you know, even if we take something in the middle, let's middle 7,500 gold. The average sale price for these items, divide it by 150, still making each individual dark particle worth 50 gold, which is really not that bad. And that's just on this one bag, right? I mean, you know, the fact that these dark particles can be pretty easily farmed for in the you know, in the hundreds. 50 gold a piece. Every 100 is 5,000 gold. Now, admittedly, it's going into MOG items. It's going into transmog items. But they are unique appearances. This like screams screams Island Expedition. Screams Island Expedition style. Let's do the Elven one. Weather's been super unstable this year. 2 hailstorms during the days when the temperature dropped from 30 to 25. Hailstorms? Jesus Christ. Nobody needs any of that business. Nobody needs any of that. Crystal Focus Spell Slinger. Golden Phoenix Beak. Onyx Blood Knight Blade Staff and normal stave. Both of you in there. Yeah, triple doggo day today. Wife's in the office, so I'm on triple dog duty. It does mean they will do this for most of the time. I just, you know, there's not much I can do about it, unfortunately. Sindori Crystal Focus and Sindori Magister's Gavel. Sun Fury Great Bulwark and the Phoenix Bow. Then finally Violet the Lassian Great Bow. Okay, so that should be 12 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Beautiful. Beautiful. Did you know Satisfactory has a lot of mods as well? I installed 65 mods and started a new playthrough. Didn't even finish the previous one. Yeah, the mod system isn't as well supported within Satisfactory, but there's definitely some, yeah. Two dogs, they sleep. 3 dogs, it's chaos. It's just, if it's the 2 puppies, it's chaos. 2 chaos if it's just the pups. Nipsa will often just, like, you know, be the boss. Doesn't do too much of the joining in. There was fantastic photos of lightning hitting the Eiffel Tower. Oh, Christ. Yeah, when the weather's like this, it's got to spin up a storm, though, at some point, doesn't it? Like, you can't have all of this hot weather and not have a thunderstorm. That don't make sense. Right, the Naga bag. What's in the Naga bag? There's some... Are we feeling that there's a similar sort of average price on these? 5, 10, 7.5, 5, 6 and a bit, 10, 3 and a bit, 9, 7.5. Yeah, it still feels... Oh, that great bow's got a good price on it. Still feels like it's about 50 gold per Dark Particle. So I was assaulting Alma's dignity. Well, I mean, he's got no balls. He can't do too much damage. Fortunately. Blade of the Deep Honor Guard. Deep Crawler, Recurve Bow and Pincher. Deep Lurk. Deep Lurk, Battle Trident, Shock Wand, Sorcerer's Stave, and Myrmidon's Trident. All 4 of those. Deep Sea. Diseased Piranha Fetish. Fathom Coral Light Staff. Wingable. Oh no. Right, there we go. There's that bag done. That should be how many? 15? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. Beautiful. Beautiful. Buy Manthy's dogs more squeaky toys. Please don't. Like, I try my best to keep the squeaky toys to a minimum. Rename the puppy cam to Chaos Cam. Well, I mean, at what point do they stop being technically puppies? I still call all 3 of my dogs puppies, by the way. Even though Nipsu is like, this one's 9, so she's not really a puppy, but she's my puppy. Right, let's get these last ones in this group so that we've got an actual full setup of these. This will be super useful as well for like cheeky shopping scans to see if any of them are popping up cheap. So there's double use for this. Obviously, I'm putting this together for the purpose of just selling the ones that we farm, but I also kind of think that these items will be good long-term sellers throughout the entire expansion and probably beyond. They're popular-ish now because of everybody farming them up, but soon as soon as people move on, they'll become pretty rare pretty quick, I think. Twilight. Oh, there's loads of these. Oh, it'd help if I could spell Twilight properly. GHT. Twilight Blade Barrier. Berserker's Cleaver. Twilight Captain Short Sword. Guardians Mall. I like Gut Ripper. I mean, theoretically, having them all this neatly, you know, all this neat and tidy isn't really that necessary. But it's just more of a need for things to look organized. You could just as well throw all of these into just one group and have one item on it, GG well played, and you'd do just as well, but... will you have a short YouTube video on new things for 12-1 goal making wise? Yeah, probably. No reason not to. I'm short on time this week because this is actually the last stream day of the week. Because I'm away for a few days again. I know it's happened quite a lot recently, but it's downtime and it's summer. How are these looking? Are these 16 of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Beautiful! Right, they're all in a group. All in a group. Now, we can do... Let's check that we have actually got... Yeah, I've got a custom operation for the Lost Armaments, which is... now, I think... I'm being what I consider relatively cheap in which I will sell them for. Posting them for 48 hours doesn't seem like all that sensible, though. 24 hours feels like it makes a lot more sense right now. Though I am about to go away for 48 hours, so maybe we'll leave it on that. Yeah, there we go. How many of these is there then? Bearing in mind I play on Draenor, one of the biggest realms, there is usually more than plenty enough stuff. We're seeing still only, in some cases, low single-digit quantities of these. Swingable Piranha? Am I literally the only one selling a swingable Piranha? Yeah, there's very low quantities of these in the grand scheme of things, considering just how much farming could be going on them. But I'd also point out that some of them are remarkably cheap. Not that I'm overly enthusiastic about buying a bunch of these right now, but these could be potentially fantastic cross-realm fodder. Remarkably fantastic cross-realm fodder, because I bet if I look for a captain's short sword, I bet there's realms that don't even have one up. I bet there's plenty of realms that don't even have them up. Let's go Undermine. Oh, I'm not signed in. Let's look for a Twilight Captain's short sword. Just out of curiosity. Twilight Captain's short sword. There's 168 across the EU. Supply of them is, surprise, surprise, increasing greatly since the day they were made farmable. But look how many realms there are that just do not have any at all. Humongous amounts of realms that just don't have any of them. This is this has got a lot of potential for anybody that's wants to go. Though, since I don't have all of my other accounts online at the moment, I'm just going to look at farming up a bunch of them whilst I obtain some achievements at the same time. That seems like the play for me. I have still 25. Yeah, I've only done 25 Void Strikes or Incursions in Eversong. We've done 35 in Zulaman, but obviously this kicks in tomorrow. I need to do 25 Void Strikes. Do we want to put... Does anybody else want to come farm some of these Dark Particles? And we can just, like, fly around and spam kill. Spam kill assaults. I'll put a little group together in case anybody wants to come. Oh, fuck. Wait, hang on. Is that how you spell particles? For these things. Dark particles. Right. If anybody wants to come join in, they're more than welcome. I've got at least 25 of them that I need to do. So the more the merrier. How many dark particles am I starting with? Let's just call it 250 for the sake of maths. In fact, I can put those in my... Let me put those in the war bank. Oh no, I can't because they're soulbound, aren't they? Dumbass. Give me regular bank. Is this my regular bank? No, that's the guild bank. I was going to say, that doesn't make sense. Why have I got so many pigments in my bank? We should probably do something about that. No, wait, hang on. This isn't right. This is the guild bank again. Where's Goblin banking? It would have been quicker to have flown back at this point, wouldn't it? Back Hobgoblin, there we go. Right, let's put these in the bank. No, I'm not trying to put them in the war bank. Character bank. Stupid game. Problem is, anything that goes in the character bank just gets lost into the nether.
Don't start trouble.
Anyway, right. We got 0 dark particles. 0 dark particles.
Dominar ritualists are corrupting the local wildlife to send against our settlements. You must disrupt their ritual and dispose of the corrupted creature.
I've not in any way, shape, or form scienced just how quickly you can farm these dark particles, or if this is even the best way to do it. But we'll I need to do a bunch of these anyway. How are we doing, Pack B? Welcome in. Good mornings. Good morning. Good morning. It is also very probable, like Goblin said, that the transmogs are actually just being consumed as well. Like, there's only so many people. Because the dark particles are soul-bound, a lot of people will be just trying to farm them all up themselves to collect the set. Probably then looking at then selling their spares, their swaps. Yo, puppies. Alma, Sulla, relax a little bit, please. I mean, I'm not interested in the actual transmog of them at all. But from a gold selling perspective, I'm very intrigued by them. Oh, these damn trees. Can't see! He relaxed for half a second. Yeah, that's about his limit. Much past half a second, his patience wears thin. Probably missed a minute or two off this, but we'll just try and get a rough gauge to by doing some of these, how efficient they are for the dark particles. In theory, like, being a tank and running rituals is probably the best way to farm the dark particles, and in fact doing the 2 new zones is probably not a terrible way to do it either, but I need this for some achievements, so it's a wombo combo. Here's the next one, this way. If only we'd uncover the technology to reverse convert field accolade. I know. I wonder how many people for the entirety of the 1205 were just converting all of their dark particles up to field accolades. And now look at the value that can be obtained by the dark particles and are just crying. It's a bit sneaky by Blizzard, really. Giving no reason for you to use dark particles for anything but to convert them into field accolades, and then present a really lucrative goal-making opportunity with dark particles the next patch later. It's kind of, yeah, touch cheeky. With the new crest drop rates in the new zones, somebody should test if farming rares in the new zones is faster than doing the ritual sites. I would say that it probably is, but it might also more entail needing to be, like, in a swarm of people doing it. Just so the rares, like, definitely die and you definitely don't die. I don't think they drop myth crests, do they? But they drop plenty enough hero crests that you can probably up convert. oi, 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 with the squeaks. Relax. Even I nearly went deaf. I got headphones on. Triangle of chaos today. I apologise. Wonder how long it's going to take to do 25 of these incursions. Could be a little while. There doesn't seem to be too many other people running around doing this. Usually, the advantage of playing on a big server is that all the zones are naturally quite busy. All barking. What I can do actually, let's track the Goblin toolbox, and then let's link the currents. Oh, it's. Oh, would this have to go on the item tracker? Shift right click to. Item tracker. Oh, the item tracker's over there. Oh, I'm in combat and it won't let me get rid of this. Always stand. Oh no, why won't this go away now? Oh, there we go. Hang on, somebody wants in the group. 141 item level. Can low levels do this? I'm sure they can. Any helps help. It was a rare up. Oh, rare's dead. What was it doing? Goblin toolbox add and then item link. / Goblin toolbox add dark particles. What? Okay. Oh, it's tracking the ones I've got in the bank as well. That's what I didn't want it to do. Player bank, switch off. There we go, 90 of them. That's what I wanted. Considering I kind of think these dark particles are worth about 50 gold each. The question is how many can we get in a reasonable amount of time? Now it's not as guaranteed a sales as doing... Not as guaranteed a sales as, like, you know, farming mats or something, but it's an alternative. And for as long as I still need it for an achievement, I'll science it a little bit at the same time. They're trying to eat the yellow fluff off that tennis ball. Even the dogs get to go on a little vacation today. They don't even know it yet. They're going off to the in-laws' house for a couple of nights. They've got a huge fenced-off back garden as well, so the dogs get to just be outside like all the time as well. So they love it there. Loved going to my grandparents to be spoiled as a kid. It was always fun, wasn't it?
The arcane golem can take it from here, champion.
134 dot particles. In 10 minutes, we've got a bag almost. Will you be packing the squeaky toys? They've got 2 chocolate Labradors. So they've got plenty of squeaky dog toys already.
The Twilight's blade have been opening rifts in the hope of summoning greater void beings.
But yes,
Strike quickly.
that is it. That's a guaranteed way to define to somebody whether you like them or not. Here are 3 dogs and a handful of squeaky toys. Have fun. I would never be that mean. Can we pull a bit more? Alma, Sulla! Keep the bark into a minimum, dogs, please. Jesus. Everyone's gonna get deaf. I don't know why Sulla has the highest pitch squeak I think I've ever heard of a dog. I don't know how he manages it. Don't know how he manages to do it. Get a boy dog, they said. They're calmer, they said. Lies. Oh, my pet got absolutely cooked there. Puberty hasn't hit yet. He's already lost his balls. I think he's just going to be a squeaky one. They left one? Maybe, yeah, maybe that's what it is. We had a third. We had a secret third ball. God, that'd be chaos, that would. $99. 3 of these big animated fellas. 184 dark particles so far already. Make that 200. We could be, even without really trying that hard, looking at nearly 1,000 dark particles an hour. Thousand dark particles an hour, roughly 50 gold a piece, 50,000 gold an hour. Now, of course, that's only in transmog value, so it's going to take you a little while to realise it. But that's also with today's lowball prices. You can also, more often than not, sell things for way above their sale average if you're savvy about how and where you sell them and don't want to sell them too quickly. What do you use the dark particles to buy? There's the four separate goodie bags that have BOE's cosmetics in them. The entire Jade Forest to myself, doing 410 lumber an hour. Flipping hell. 410 lumber an hour. You're gonna have more bamboo than you know what to do with. Anybody wants in on the dark particle farm, come say hi. It's as simple as just chain killing the Eversong Void Assaults. More the merrier.
With each victory in these ruins, the darkness of Deathhome dwindles a little more. You have our thanks.
Why does it say housewarming? The hell does housewarming mean? Relaxed? Is that why it says house? What?
Corrupting the local wildlife to send against our settlements. You must disrupt their ritual and dispose of the corrupted creature.
Hello. No barking. Can accept the odd squeak, but it's taking the piss now. It defaults to housewarming? How does it even mean? I think it's a bug. In World of Warcraft, a bug? No, can't be. Dulla. No barking. But Alma, or whoever the hell's barking. Hey, Amalams, I'm going to take the ball off you if you... Yes, you would. More housing shoved down people's throats. Could be. Could be. You will participate. You will building. It's fake engagement. That's what it is. Blizzard executives will go back and look at all of the people doing housewarming groups. Just fudge the numbers. The group's listed if anybody wants it. I'm not going to keep it up on the screen all the time. Hey, puppies, relax, please. Alma, Sula, relax. There's so many things to do in custom, they have to put housewarming to a none list. Since the list you would have to do would not be able to be on the screen. Lots of words, none of which I understood. I've probably misread it. Might do like an hour of these void assaults just to get a baseline idea of what it's like for dark particles. And then maybe try an hour, you know, see if we can do a few rituals in an hour and do a comparison there. Because at the moment, these are not super useful for any really other... Why am I still stuck in combat? These are not super useful for basically anything else. Whereas rituals would be getting us crests and things as well. But if we can get, you know, 750 to 1,000 dark particles an hour on top of getting, you know, something else that's worth getting as well, double win. Where's this thing? Oh, can't move for treasures. Oh my god, they're all over the place. I actually can't move for treasures. Hey, this wasn't on our to-do list. Too many squirrels.
The wilds of Eversong Forest are being influenced by unstable energies. Purge the afflicted creatures and help contain this corruption.
Alma, Sula, relax, please. Nips was playing with the ball. Got lots of other toys. Yes. Hi, Sula. Hi. Hi. Hi, Sula. Hi. Who's a good boy? How long till you retire from the new zones? Well, to be honest, I kind of have already. The only thing I still need to do in Val is to return there to do the new weekly quests. Other than that, I'm basically done there. It's just the collector / completionist in me that's keeping me going there. The fun factor is non-existent. I am kind of trying to desperately try and find some sort of goal making value in there. And if they end up being, if killing rares ends up being good for dark particles in the new zones, that's really the only thing that might give me a reason to go back there. But the fact I can get dark particles via incursions or rituals, it's kind of a, you know, when you have other or even better options, Not going back to those hellholes. Why do the non-fun thing when you don't have to? Alma, Sulla. Relax now. We'll lay down. These dogs have got to stop at some point. Doing this since 7 AM. Yeah, I really wouldn't advertise anybody grind out those 2 new zones unless they have a really, really good reason to do it. They're naturally pretty harsh. I had this worry testing the zones on the PTR. I had the worry that I didn't really understand like the why for the heroic mode, other than just, oh, people have got a shitload of gear, we need to at least make something slightly challenging for them. But when you run around in a swarm and you all have good gear, then even the heroic mode is like, it's not, there's no challenge there. Oh, where did it go? Did we win? Did we win? Yeah, I think they need to take the heroic mode tech and apply it to something somewhere where it might actually have some sort of more reason to do it. Playing it solo on the PTR just for testing, it kind of felt a bit weird and a kind of like, what's the pull and what's the draw, what's the attraction of doing it on a heroic mode? And there isn't really that much reason to do it on heroic mode, other than if you're trying to collect the achievements or you want the meta mount or whatever. You know, there's the carrot on the stick, but you're not there because it's more fun. It's more difficult and you feel obliged to do it on the higher difficulty because there's some minor reward that you want from it. That's my take, is that's not great game design. Does it get people playing an aspect of the game? Does it? Yeah. Is it great game design? I don't think so. Probably planning to add it as a regular feature at some point. Well, there's not. Yeah, ever since they did Legion Remix. But Legion Remix was kind of the same in a way, right? It was just that heroic world tier in Legion Remix was just a natural progression of you know, playing the game mode. Kind of like you have torment difficulties or whatever in like ARPG games that, you know, as your gear gets up and you end up one-shotting everything, you increase the difficulty so that you stop one-shotting everything, but you do the same thing again, you just get more rewards for it. It's very Diablo. It's very, very, very Diablo. The heroic worlds here. But they need to integrate it more into actually being interesting. Because this isn't an ARPG. This is an MMO and it's an RPG. They do and they should play differently. Update on my GPU. They tested it, confirmed that the card was faulty. They're giving me a new one. I swear if it's going to be faulty again, I'm going to start slapping people. Well, a resolution is better than no resolution. So I'm glad you've managed to get it sorted. You know, it would be nice if things weren't faulty, but sometimes you just get unluck. Hey, you two, relax now, please.
Good job, champion, but we must remain alert. The Dominar are skilled at getting behind our lines and sowing chaos.
This is 85% done. Should get a What are these things are called the like void rifts. Then you got the void incursions. Pick up these coalescing lights as well. The Arcana. Ah, there's so many things to pick up these days. Need to pick up all the treasures, need to pick up all the wood. Heaven forbid you have herbalism and mining and actually need to pick up materials as well. Takes me 5 minutes to get halfway across the map because of all the stuff we pick up. It's happening though. I'm starting to, somehow, magically, my YouTube feed is starting to fill up with GTA content. You know, the technology overlords are clearly listening to our recent conversations, because I certainly haven't searched for or watched any GTA content. But clearly there's a lot of popularity in it at the moment with the pre-order of GTA 6. It's starting to invade my algorithm, my timeline on YouTube. Now, it's probably because I have watched some of it before and the same old content creators are spinning up again. But I've seen a couple of them and it's starting to give me a bit of a bug to go play GTA. I don't think I've fully saturated my one thing I kind of want to do, we'll see how 12.1 goes. I'm really interested in doing like a full playthrough of like the GTA series. Just because they're just outrageously fantastic games. I mean, I've 100%ed GTA 5 like, I think 3 times now. Never really got too deep into the online of GTA 5. But the my Goblin brain does like the idea of GTA Online. I mean, you literally own and manage and run businesses, which like is very Goblin brain. You ain't never gonna get me doing GTA RP. That's a genre that can jog on. We ain't messing around with any of that business, but RP, yeah, I can't be doing the RP. That's not a bit of me. But the online business tycoon is a bit of me. But GTA 6, they raise the base price to the Stratosphere and give no physical disc. Also, they add the line that you do not own the game but merely rent it. I'm going to wait for a PC release and a cracked version. Vote with your wallet. Vote with your wallet. I am happy to pay for entertainment. But of course everybody is willing to pay different amounts for their entertainment. I'm fortunate that for the most part I can also get some sort of reimbursement on my paying for entertainment by also providing some entertainment myself. But yes, I would it is a new era of cash grab, quite probably. And if anybody's going to start the trend, it'll be Rockstar with a Grand Theft Auto game. So, you know, if you want to vote with your wallet, fair play. I will be playing it on PlayStation 5. I kind of need to hook... I might do a GTA playthrough, but do it on the PS5. I need to hook up my PlayStation, and I need to figure out how we get it hooked into the computer and record and stream and all of that sort of business. I should probably figure all of that shit out way in advance. Still, for entertainment, the loser of the week is the dude that bought 500 copies of the game so that he could quote-unquote sell it later. Not sure what he thought. You merely get game codes, not a disc. What? He used his 401k? What? Okay. Somebody wanted some of that scalper life, but didn't realise that it only really applies to physical product. Well, stupid people will do stupid things. That is factual. Stupid people want to do stupid things, that's up to them. He wanted to scalp it for profit. Interesting. Well, stupid people do stupid things. Oh my god, I'm nearly dead. That, or it's entirely fake and he's had a pretty good day on social media off the back of it. Gotta remember. People will do and say anything on the internet for a bit of attention these days. Yeah, give that man a Darwin Award. And remind him it's not edible. Could be fake, but he did post a receipt screenshot. I mean, you can fake anything in about 5 minutes flat. Yeah, kind of getting the GTA itch. I got to be careful about. I got to time this right, if I'm honest. Comes out in November, doesn't it? I need to time this right. I need to probably completely save off this desire to go play GTA. I need to save that desire, squirrel it away for a little while until we've got 12.1 well under the way. 12.1 is probably going to come out like September, right? No, wait. Like 6 weeks away? What's 6 weeks away from now? August? 12.1? Don't we have an August 12th for like season launch or something? That would probably then mean that by September, yeah, by the time GTA launches, we'll probably be in 12.1.5. Meaning, oh, did I get the tag on that? Oh, it did. That's 16 free dark particles. Yeah, by that point, we should be well looking for a month or two of GTA action. Alma, Sulla. Hey, relax.
a little more. You have our thanks.
How many have I done? 33. Need to do 50. 604 dark particles in 40 minutes. $604 in 40 minutes. So, quick maths, we're looking at 900 an hour at this rate. 900 an hour divides kind of nicely into, what, 6 boxes an hour? 6 BOEs an hour? 6 BOE cosmetics an hour? Now, obviously, there is a bit of an issue that you're like, because there's a wide selection of things you can get from each box, you're going to end up with a bunch of duplicates before you have one of everything. But it'll be fine. You can always just learn one of the duplicates if you like the appearance. Counting down the days to BlizzCon. I mean, I can only assume that there'll be a Classic Plus announcement of BlizzCon. Like, what else? Unless there is something that's, like, properly secret. We kind of know the timeline of what's going on for the next while, don't we? Classic Plus has got the only, like, big question mark on it. With 18-month expansions, though, it's weirdly not going to be that long before my brain starts thinking about when are we going to start seeing alpha. Like, I know that sounds actually ridiculous, but by this point in season 2 in 12.1, so at exactly this point next season, I'll already be like, okay, it's nearly alpha time. I know we've spoken about this a little bit in the last few days, but I do think that they will eventually move to a 12-month cycle for the expansions. And by that point, you'll either be living the dream of the expansion launch, or you'll be reveling in info about what the next one is, and it will just be a constant constant pendulum swing between those two events. Where's all the baddies gone? Rotate expansions within the 18-month time frame, maybe. Don't know. I mean, there's so much speculation going around about what all of this stuff is and what it could be. By this point, I'm at a bit of a loss to even what to suspect it could be. I will just kind of happily wait for... I'm in a way, I'm kind of glad that I'm not a big Classic Andy. Because You really would just be like twiddling your thumbs waiting for something at this point. The classic community has always intrigued me, because I don't quite understand how there can be so much hype for something that is already completely figured out. You've already played it once. Like, it's nothing more than a nostalgia trip for most of the players. I mean, I've never been anywhere near as excited to watch a film a second time. This is kind of the way I've looked at classic for the most part. I can appreciate a good film and I will watch a film a second time, but there's no way I like, you know, there's no way you get anywhere near the amount of hype season for watching a film you've already seen once. But why is it any different with a video game that you've already played and probably completed? I love me some Factorio. We've been talking about GTA for the last however long, but absolutely nothing compares to something new. Maybe the classic community think that Classic Plus is going to be new enough to actually give new vibes. I don't know.
Thank you.
Really, it depends how big the Classic Plus thing is. If it's just a small team, more along the lines of Season of Discovery, people are going to be pissed. Well, the argument is that Season of Discovery was them, you know, testing the water, wasn't it? I mean, I genuinely think of all of the hardcore and Season of Discovery and Season of whatever else they've done. The original Season of Discovery, I think, was the most interesting to me, personally. The OG vanilla experience up until about level 20, plus a bit of a switcheroo with some of the classes. We had stupid things like rogue tanks and whatever, didn't we? That was probably the most enjoyable classic revisit for me. In fact, I'd go as far as to say it was probably more enjoyable playing Season of Discovery when it first came out than when Classic first came out itself. It was the best of Classic with a new twist that made it interesting. The issue I had with Season of Discovery, though, was that the best of vanilla was the first 20 levels. The next 20 levels, and then the 20 levels after that, are, you know, historically really nothing more than a bit of a grind. Then you have Endgame where it became good again, but by that point I was so bored I was done with Season of Discovery before it ever got to Endgame mode. Just hate the idea of Classic Plus too much. Adding one tier or zone wouldn't really change much. People drooling over private servers, new leveling zones, like the old ones weren't already enough to get to 60. Yeah, this is it. Nobody really actually knows what Classic Plus even is, though. This is the thing. Does it just mean it's going to be a couple of new zones? Does, you know... Are they going to do the Season of Discovery thing and just, like, slightly change up the classes? Give some, you know, Shaman's tank mode and whatever, or... Nobody really knows what they're going to do. Is it going to be, like, heroic world tier modifiers in vanilla WoW? Who knows? Like, in a way, the possibilities are kind of endless. And Blizzard have said nothing. You know, you kind of got to remember that Blizzard's barely even confirmed its existence, other than a few cheeky lines in, you know, in the occasional public appearance from a dev. I will maintain an open opinion on it until we get something solid to dissect, and then we'll have a bit of a better look. Classic Plus and WoW 2 is an elusive beast. Everybody has their own understandings, desires of what they want it to be. This is why it will disappoint 50% of the player base and the other half will jump for joy. Yeah. Yeah, this is always... Blizzard has this problem on such a very frequent occasion now. The audience for this game is both very, very, very well established, but also very fragmented in what they find enjoyable about the game. It's the kiss curse of having a game that's so big and so wide as World of Warcraft. That it does basically mean that your target audience is super difficult to, like, pinpoint, right? There's you know, the PvP crowd would want more PvP stuff. All the things collector crowd want things to collect, and there's often some crossover between the groups of people, but there's also often times where those crossovers flip into things that people don't want. So yeah, this is why I think Blizzard's best approach to this is just to create whatever they think they feel is best and run with that. Like, you let the voice of public opinion, if you let that in too much, yeah, even more. Oh, these dogs have properly chewed this ball. Hang on. Oh, boy. Ball. Done. That one is done. That tennis ball is no more. Sorry, puppies. I can't have you shitting out rubber tennis ball all day. Aha, now the big event. Comes down to is also monetization. How do you develop Classic Plus in a significant way without actually selling a box game or an extra on top service fee? Oh shit. Maybe don't fly through that. Well, I mean, the token. For a while now, Blizzard have had... The reality is Blizzard doesn't need to sell boxes. This is the advantage they have of, like, quadruple dipping their customers. Is that if you, for whatever reason, can't, you know, min-max one monetization system, well, they have 4 others to fall back on. Like Classic, I bet they sell more boosts in Classic than they do in retail by a long way, for starters. Because it is fundamentally worth a lot more. Buying a boost for retail is mental when you can level an earthen in an hour and a half. When we've had remixes where you can level characters in like 10 minutes. Like the value of a $60 boost in retail is terrible. But you compare that to Classic, and then all of a sudden $60 for a max level character in Classic genuinely could save you 30 or 40 hours. All of a sudden, that's worth a lot more. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do way better with Classic on things like boosts and the token and that sort of stuff. The token probably does better in Classic as well. I'm not gonna lie. It's all one system at the end of the day, but I still feel that the Classic token system probably does really, really well. I know they ban GDKP runs and all of this sort of stuff, but it doesn't change the fact that there are many players that have no desire in Classic to be self-sufficient. They just want to raid, they want to gear up, and if you purely do nothing but that in Classic, now, you will be poor. You will be poor. Poorer than you are in retail. Retail just shits gold at you from every angle if you at least play the game, right? Pretty much every activity you do in WoW these days now, unless it's strictly running arenas and doing nothing else, or running Mythic Plus dungeons and doing absolutely nothing else. If you solely only engage in like one of the endgame activities, you probably are going to struggle to have much gold. But other than that, if you play the wider game, you'll end up with more gold than you need. You can't say that about Classic though. You genuinely do have to, in Classic, it's like, right, well, I need to spend 2 hours a week making gold so that I can cover the consumables to go do the raid. I'm scared by having been a product manager in a public company, but I think Blizzard is being part of Xbox and Microsoft, which is going to have layoffs. I think Blizzard are relatively safe in all of this. For the very simple reason they make money. What retail is an absolute cash cow. The company as a whole makes a lot of money. And that's not to say that there won't be layoffs. In any tech company, there is always, like, an expansion is 18 months long, and there will be a round of layoffs nearly every single time an expansion is launched, because people will be hired to do very specific jobs to get a product shipped, and then once that product is shipped, their job is surplus to requirement for another 18 months. Being profitable is not enough for Blizzard now. They need to make a return set by Microsoft. Well, I mean, Activision would have done the same prior to the acquisition from Microsoft. I don't think in that regard anything dramatic has changed just because Microsoft have bought them. There seems to be I don't keep up with it in great levels of detail, but there seems to be quite a lot of turmoil, you know, Microsoft and Xbox at the moment. You know, flip-flopping on changes such as Game Pass pricing and offering and this sort of stuff. Seems to be pretty weird shit going on. But I don't really feel that any of it will have much of an impact on Blizzard or World of Warcraft. Who knows? Who knows? Most companies now, you're right. The number going up doesn't matter anymore. It has to go up at a higher rate than it went up before. Otherwise, you're going backwards. Like, if you're not winning bigger, you're not winning. Is the corporate world these days, but that's for everything. He did say they're planning WoW for the next 20 years. Must be cooking something big. Oh, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely no doubt. Did I randomly get phased then? I think I did. Okay, we've been doing this for nearly an hour. We're up to 850 dark particles in that time. I've been doing this solo for most of it. I've also not been proactively killing everything as fast as I possibly can. So I think it's a relatively fair average. And we can probably then say about 900 dark particles an hour, 1,000 plus if you know what you're doing and are concentrating and or you're doing it in a group. Which makes this an estimated 50,000-60,000 gold an hour. Skinning results for the multi-account farming. 85 to 150k gold per hour, depending on which price source you want to use. Yeah, if you've got, once it's set up, I mean, it's still big money for sure. We've got 10 Void Strikes done in that hour as well, by the looks of things. So roughly 1 every 6 minutes was an average. That means I've still got about another hour and a half worth of Void Strikes to get the achievement. Wonder if this dude gives like huge amount of dark particles. That'd be very nice if he does. Game industry is going through at the moment. Money's more expensive to borrow. The season pass loot box bonanza is more or less coming to an end for most games. They've hit saturation and now studios and jobs are going to go. The one thing I've noticed pretty heavily is that the amount of money that Team NA are willing to spend on microtransactions is exponentially more than what the, you know, European market is willing to spend. Which will definitely have a knock-on effect to these companies. There's still that sort of natural free-for-all over on NA, whereas restrictions are getting tighter and tighter and tighter on predatory practices, loot boxes and gamble mechanics and that sort of stuff in the more European markets. But yeah, it's the cash cow or getting away with it is pretty much localized to, you know, America, which is a big market. You know, America alone is 300 million people. NA as a whole is very sizable. But is it enough for these companies to global companies? Is that enough of a market when they then basically have to create 2 products because Europe is just saying, no, you can't do that bullshit? It's interesting for me because Blizzard technically are slow to the party with all of this. Like, I know we don't like the cash shop particularly, and the fact that we pay a box price and a sub price, and then, you know, there's the token, and then there's the paid for services, and that, you know, the list goes on. But you compare it to some other games out there, and it's
Thank you, champion.
you know,
The remnants of the
very
void have been
friendly.
repelled, for now.
Oh, interesting. I got one of these from out of the bag. Getting one of these au natural is like incredibly rare. Fun fact, I got one that's not really worth a huge amount, but not, yeah, there we go. 900, give or take 900 dark particles in that hour. Back in my day, you bought a game and then you bought the expansion. Back in my day, expansions didn't exist. You bought the game and then you bought the next game. You bought Age of Empires and then you bought Age of Empires 2. Yeah, no day one patches.
Dominar ritualists are corrupting the local wildlife to send against our settlements. You must disrupt their ritual and dispose of the corrupted creatures.
I'm getting old though. So, my day was many days ago. I still remember one of my, it sounds crazy, but one of my favourite Christmas presents, ever from my uncle was a 1001, like a book of 1001 cheat codes for PC games. It was just a book, and if the game, you know, there was X amount of games in it, and then there was a bunch of cheat. They weren't all just like back in the day. They weren't all cheat codes. There was like mini guides, but it was just like this bumper book that had all of that stuff in. And my uncle had no idea if I even had any of the games in there, but it was incredibly interesting as a, I don't know, an 8-year-old kid or something. That was literally one of my favourite Christmas presents as a kid. How stupid is that? The entire set of Doom cheats? Yeah. Yeah, all the IDDQDs and IDKFAs, and you're old enough, you still remember half of them today. Started your career as a game maximizer? It started my uncle is the reason I am and predominantly always have been a PC gamer rather than a console gamer. Based upon the fact that I'm nearly 40, I've had like a home PC that was like my PC since the age of about 3. So in other words, I had a home PC way before, like, I could type before I could like properly write, you know. I was I was fluent in DOS before I went to school. I was really lucky that my uncle sort of he was a well, he's retired now, long retired, but like he was a professor at a university in the IT department, believe it or not, in a university, like way back in the day. And so he always hooked me up with like their last generation hardware. He was like the main professor and network guy back then. Like, this is when computers were not plug and play, where if you install a new hard drive, you got to do some crazy ass like shit to get it to work. You don't just plug it in and it magically works. But yeah, having that early exposure to like PC gaming from super young age basically meant that I never really paid that much attention to consoles until I was like teenage years.
Come back with some better stories.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right. Yeah, everybody remembers the everybody remembers their favourite infinite weapons or god mode cheats from back in the day. Yeah, manual driver installation for hard disk drives, yeah. 32 megabyte hard disk drive. For example, I had a CD-ROM drive in my I had a CD-ROM drive in my PC before my school did. Like, this was kind of like I was very well blessed with technology as a small kid.
Good job, champion. But we must remain alert. The Dominar are skilled at getting behind our lines and sowing chaos.
OG Prince of Persia game. There was a few games like that I had, like, you had the demo discs that you got on the front of the PC magazines. When I mean demo disc, I mean like floppy disk. Or what ended up being like a stack of 4 or 5 floppy disks sellotaped to the front of a magazine. I was such an absolute nerd as a child for that sort of stuff. I mean, I kind of still am today, but... Which is kind of weird, because there was definitely... Considering how much of an early exposure I had to all of this sort of stuff, I then didn't end up being a programmer or a developer or anything like that. I can't read or write a line of code to save my life these days. Even though, like I said, like, my first operating system was DOS, not even Windows.
Have used the Tideborn pirates to smuggle void-enhanced armaments to our very doorstep. Destroy the armaments and disrupt the attack.
I remember installing games and creating custom directories. You know, I would just literally be able to type, like, I can't even remember now, but I could type a command in, like /games, and it would just come up with like a big dashboard of whichever games I had, and then I could, you know, I was making user interfaces in DOS before I'd even got to school. Still have my first travelling laptop at only £45, 256k memory and a whopping 20 megabyte disk. Nice. Nice. And you probably have the back pain to this day to remember it by. Yeah, the the word portable becomes very questionable then, doesn't it? Yes, maybe we won't continue the continue the celebration of how old we all are for too much longer. All the Zoomers in chat will be cringing. I would be absolutely gobsmacked if there's anybody lurking under the age of 25. Loading multiple of the 14 floppy disks just to change location, yeah. Right, this will test some people. One of my absolute all-time favourite games as a small kid was one called Cosmo. Who knows who Cosmo is and can describe Cosmo? Hack B's on it already. Cosmo was I want to say a little green alien. But it was like, Cosmo was like Sonic before Sonic was Sonic. There's a remaster coming? No way. No way. Hang on. Hang on. We've got to Google this shit. Please hold. No way this is coming back. Yes, this. Hang on. Hang on, let me kill this boss.
Congratulations, champion. You have dealt a great blow to the Dagger Spine operation.
Osmo's Cosmic Adventure. Funny how half of the pictures come up as flowers. Yeah, you had all the little collectible strawberries and whatever. Osmo's Cosmic Adventure live stream? Wait, 1992 classic. Side-scrolling platform video game. Published by Apogee Software. Now, somebody's just mentioned that. Badger Goose. Well remembered. Well remembered. The protagonist is Cosmo, a small green alien with red spots, an overbite, and a unique suction cup hand. Fun fact, the game features a cameo from Duke Nukem in the text, who can be freed from a block of ice on level 7 episode 2. Oh, there's no way I got to level 7 episode 2. Released on MS-DOS back in March 1992. So for reference, in March 1992, I was 6. 16 color EGA graphics at 320 by 200. The game was written with 24,500 lines of code, which I would imagine a ChatGPT could spit out in about 4 minutes. Somebody's saying Pagby is saying there's a remake of this. There's a remaster coming. Yo! So there is. That's funny. BBC Acorn traveled to planets in trade, had to navigate planet entry. Wow, okay. Monster Bash. I don't remember Monster Bash. Dad used to work for Xerox, so this beast was my first home computer. Mouse tech before Apple, by the way. Yo, look at the size of this thing. Damn. Lost Mantheus to his childhood memories. Time to find another goal maker. Oh yeah, sorry, I've taken my distracted by squirrels. One other game I played an unhealthy amount as a kid. This was probably a year or two after this. Was one called Magic Carpet. Who remembers Magic Carpet? OG Magic Carpet. The big fucking worms in this game. 1994. Bullfrog Productions. God, that's nostalgia. Didn't they also do Theme Park? There was Magic Carpet and then Magic Carpet 2. And Theme Hospital. Yeah. Yeah. This came out on PlayStation. Oh, shit. Oh, snap. Was PlayStation that old? 94? Did PlayStation exist? Christ. I vaguely remember this Hocus Pocus game. Vaguely remember it. Elite was the name? Okay. Some favourites for me were the XCOM and stunts. I was never too much into that sort of stuff. But then again, you know, it wasn't so much a case of choice back then. It was more of a case of, you know, if I was given a game. And Elite 2 was super famous for squeezing so much of a game onto like 22 kilobits. The fact you can buy all these on goodoldgames.com is kind of crazy, by the way. Magic Carpet Plus. Magic Carpet 2, The Netherworlds. Okay, let's maybe not show all of that on stream. Completion is 10 hours. Bullfrog Productions. What else did they do? Can we get the original theme park? Oh my god, I'd play the shit out of the original theme park game. Oh yeah, Dungeon Keeper. I never liked these games, but I remember them. Theme Park, there it is. Oh my god, the amount of time I spent playing this game as a kid. Genuinely probably one of the most played games I've ever played ever. OG Theme Park. This game inspired Roller Coaster Tycoon, which ended up being probably one of the best games ever made. Yes, I remember this. Everything was just a square block. Dungeon Keeper 1 was the first PC game I ever played. Wow, okay. I don't think I ever had the Dungeon Keeper games. I remember them, but Roller Coaster Tycoon is now free on Steam. It was an absolute classic. Genius game. Some of the same devs now make Planet Coaster, don't they? Yeah, Planet Coaster. Not the shitty knockoff one that Microsoft tried to do. Windows 11 verified. What else did this company make? Populous? Never played that. Vaguely remember it though. The original Theme Hospital. Oh, I genuinely didn't know you could still get these games or play them. This could be relatively dangerous if I explore this. Bullfrog Classics. We've actually played it on stream, but one of my favourite games, Day of the Tentacle. Couldn't find anything matching your... Oh god. Apparently it doesn't exist on Good Old Games. Okay, this is clearly not a very good search engine. Operating systems. Can we do release date? Hang on. Where's release date? Release date. What's some of the real old schools that I played as a kid then? Mortal Kombat games, obviously. Oh, the original... Oh my god! The original Indiana Jones games. Yes. Little Big Adventure, I remember this. I remember this because I hated it. I had the full game of Little Big Adventure and I absolutely hated it. Ultimate Underworld, which went on to inspire World of Warcraft, which we play now. TIE Fighter, I remember the name, I don't remember playing it. Manic Mansion. This is the one. Manic Mansion is the one before Day of the Tentacle, right? I'm pretty sure of it. Same devs. This was just the one before. I am somewhat scared by the fact so many of these old games are available. If you haven't played it, Sam and Max Hit the Road. Literally one of the funniest games to have ever been made ever. Genuinely one of the best games ever made ever. Working through the Settlers games. The Settlers, I want to say Settlers 2. Oh, I must have 500 hours in Settlers 2. Full Throttle was during the same era as Day of the Tentacle. It was, yeah. You had Full Throttle, you had Day of the Tentacle, you had Sam and Max, you had the original Indiana Jones games. There was a few then, yeah. There's a fair few of these games I don't remember. I remember Loom. Never played it, but I remember its existence. if anybody's got a filthy mind and enjoys a bit of crude comedy, check out the Leisure Suite Larry games. They're not safe for work, but kind of funny. I don't even think I'd be allowed to stream them. Carmageddon? Didn't that get banned in like loads of countries? Like genuinely loads of countries. I'm pretty sure Carmageddon was banned in the UK. Jazz Jackrabbit was good. This was one of the first games I think I played with like a controller properly. Oh, Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus. There we go. Just bought the Roller Coaster Tycoon bundle on Steam for like €3. Bargain. Bargain. There's 100 hours of gameplay in that. Absolute bargain. Starting to get more games that I don't recognize the names of. But yeah, a huge amount of these games was literally my childhood. And I kind of wish I hadn't found out that you can buy them all on Good On Games. Street Racer. Pretty sure I remember playing that before the days of like Micro Machines or something. This was back in the day where the box art for a game was significantly better than the game in every single way most of the time. I had one game which was a motorbike game. It could have actually even been Cycle Mania. I think this... I had a demo of this game that I think I must have played it 5,000 times. I don't know why. Yeah, I was surprised none of the Settlers games have popped up. Maybe the Settlers games were a bit after 94. I genuinely apologise to anybody that's not old. Super Sidekicks, the OG FIFA. OG FIFA. Moto Racer, yes, I remember playing Moto Racer on the PlayStation with my uncle. Like we would have like full on fights over that game because I was really good at it, and it frustrated the shit out of him. There's Cosmo's Cosmic Adventure. Look, there it is. Oh, I might buy that just for nostalgia reasons, and I'll give somebody €1 for whatever. Jill of the Jungle! Oh my god! Jill of the Jungle! I remember this one. This was Lara Croft before Lara Croft was a thing. Sorry, I've gone right down the rabbit hole now. Okay, I think I need to stop before this ends up costing me a lot of money. Anyway, nostalgia trip all the same. That was quite amusing. Quite amusing indeed. Moto Racer supported the earlier shitty 3D accelerators. It was mind-blowing. I mean, at the time, yeah, anything that was not even 2D was like the best thing you've ever seen in your life ever. Yeah, I might just throw 20 quid at some old nostalgia games just for the lols. And if you're really unlucky, I might play some of them on stream.
Dominar ritualists are corrupting the local wildlife to send against our settlements. You must disrupt their
Son used to work for the company that made what? Carmageddon. That's awesome. Carmageddon then went on to partially inspire... Oh, what was the game called? What was the game called? The racing game where you had all of the power-ups. Twisted Metal series. It might have even been the same development team. Who remembers the Twisted Metal games? Before they went shit and tried to cash cow them. But the original Twisted Metal games were just some of the best multiplayer, like, car games. Pretty heavily inspired by Carmageddon, I think. Yeah, as you might have guessed, I've been a bit of a gaming geek my entire life. In a way, there's something that's relatively sad about the fact I've played World of Warcraft for 20 years, because it has basically meant that in the last 20 years, I've played less games in the last 20 years than I played, like... I used to play all sorts of games from all genres all the time. As soon as I started playing World of Warcraft, though, I basically have never played anything else since. With a few modest exceptions. They made a TV series out of Twisted Metal. Did they really? Yeah, you had like a crazy clown in an ice cream van or something. It was all very Slipknot Mask, very sort of like weird. But they were very, very fun games. This is back in the day, right? This is back when I remember me and a couple of mates on a Friday would go to Blockbuster Games. Would go to Blockbuster, and we would rent a game for the weekend. You know, rent a game for 2 nights. Twisted Metal was a very common... If there's 3 or 4 of us, we'd rent that and just play that until 4 o'clock in the morning. That must have been PlayStation 1 era, maybe. Rent, sneaky copy, return. Or with the PlayStation games, yeah. The OG PlayStation games, absolutely. I mean, yeah, definitely not. Would never do that, yeah. Yeah, what a wonderful time that was. Being able to acquire pretty much any game you wanted for like £5 plus the cost of a CDRW. It was like, yes please, yoink. My original PlayStation, I got it cracked because same uncle actually. His wife is Russian, and this is back in the days where games would get launched in Russia like 6 months prior to them. You know, games that were like out of Japan. So like Gran Turismo 2 might have even been Gran Turismo 3. I can't remember. But one of the early Gran Turismo games, I had that on the PlayStation probably about 6 months before it was publicly released in like European countries. Because my uncle's wife, who is Russian, would just get all of the hooky copies of the games when they went over there like once a year. And bring them all back. And I'd play them on my cracked PlayStation. Most of them had language change abilities. They were just the regular PAL versions of the games, but they just sold them in Russia first because they knew Russia was going to pirate the shit out of them anyway. In some ways, not a lot has changed. But I definitely made some friends at school that year when I started getting PlayStation games that nobody had ever seen before. And then they'd come out 6 months later and be like, how did he have that game so early? Especially when they were like sequels of games that people already liked. I never understood why games came out like 6 months later in like the Western world. All of the old sort of like you know, the arcade racer kind of games that got ported to PlayStation. I don't know. Maybe we should chill out with the nostalgia for a little bit. Be on good vibes though. Yeah, Tekken was another one. I had Tekken 2 like before it came out in like Western world. I got really, really good at Tekken 2 once upon a time. Cousin of a friend also got stuff ahead of time, seeing the PS2 in action with Tekken 6 months before anybody else was exciting. Yeah, all of those games that were like Japanese games that would come out in Japan. And then it would take 6 months, a year for them to come out like in the UK. Could you imagine that these days if like a game dared to come out 6 months before in one country only? How crazy does that sound as a concept? DVDs were like that in the old days. You could get a DVD from Canada before it was even finished its theatrical run in Europe. Yeah, true. You know, all you needed to do... The crazy thing was all you needed to do was, like, put a paper clip in the back of your DVD player or something stupid to unlock the region on them. Shit was wild. PS1 era was insane. First game, Final Fantasy 7, Crash Bandicoot, Tekken 2. My mate had Final Fantasy 7, and so I never bought it because my mate had it. But because we would, you know, it was even back then PlayStation. I mean, especially as a kid, right? As a kid, you don't have any money. You get what you're given. But my mate had Final Fantasy, and we would just always swap the games that we had, and we tried to like orchestrate it. So for like birthdays and Christmases and whatever, like people would ask for different games, and then we just swapped them all. My mate got Final Fantasy game, and I had the Metal Gear Solid game. The thing is, I was never able. He would never let me borrow Final Fantasy for more than like 24 hours, which meant, for the most part, I never played Final Fantasy 7. Played the shit out of Metal Gear Solid, though. Yeah, chipping the old console so that they could, like, play any old stuff was always fun.
The Twilight's blade have been opening rifts in the hope of summoning greater void beings. Strike quickly.
Well, one thing I've definitely done is completely and utterly nuked any gold per hour valuation of this stream so far today. Whoops. Well, we've made some progress towards doing 50 void strikes, and we've got 1.1k dark particles. So it's not a complete burn. Yeah, definite sorry not sorry situation. Me and my friend would give each other whatever disc of the Final Fantasy games that we were on. Yeah, see, that's clever, because it came on like 3 or 4 discs, didn't it? Yeah. Until you all wanted to go do Chocobo racing at the same time or something. Yo, 20 dark particles. That's a loot and a half. I kind of envy people though that, you know, still have access to like their old family home with all of this stuff like just stashed in an attic or something somewhere. Because unfortunately I have like none of this stuff. I don't have my own consoles or games, or I basically don't have anything from my childhood, which is a bit of a frustration sometimes. There's something cool about going to your old parents' house, like looking through the attic and finding all of the childhood relics. Still have the old SNES and a couple of the Game Boys, the brick one and then the smaller colour one. Yeah, I had, you know, my old Game Boy Color back in the, you know, the OG Pokemon days. I would love to still have all of that stuff. Fortunately, I don't have access to any of that because my stepdad's an asshole. That's the story for another day. The yellow one and the crystal one. Yeah, I had Pokemon Yellow. Pokemon Yellow. I had Pokemon Red and I had Pokemon Yellow. Which sounds ridiculous when you think about it, because they were the same game. The same game, just with... How did Nintendo get away with that, by the way? Like, how did Nintendo back in the day get away with releasing the same game twice every year, and it was just deemed acceptable? Like, you put the same game in a different cartridge color and call it another... How did they manage to do that? Or Yellow was different because you had Surfing Pikachu minigame. Sure, great. Did you ever pull off a... did you ever do a triple backflip, though? Triple backflip Surfing Pikachu. That was mad skills. And yes, Yellow, you started with Pikachu as your starting Pokemon. But 99.9% of the game was exactly the same. It's like them releasing Midnight, like, with one extra class. Or if they'd done Dragonflight, you had to buy the one Evoker spec copy of the game, or the other Evoker spec copy of the game. color template. Oh, sorry, they moved the hue slider across. Yeah, totally different game. Totally different. They changed the hexadecimal code of the color by 1 digit. Different game. Sell it twice. I think Pokemon Yellow also had the Pikachu Casino minigame in it as well. Because obviously teaching kids to gamble is a good idea. Right, I gotta stop being old for 5 minutes, I think. Stop being old and finish up these incursions. Oh, there's the big fella.
You have kept us safe, champion. The whole
Did I not get the tag on him? Ah, shit.
but we will still
I lost like 20 field accolade. I lost like 20 dark particles by not getting the tag on him. Right, that's around 40. I think I'm going to stop doing these. Let's cash in our dark particles then. We got 1,200, which is going to be enough. If I take out the couple of hundred I got in the bank, that's 1,600. We can buy 10 transmog boxes, 10 cosmetic loot crates. Do we cash them all in on the same box? Run the risk of getting lots of duplicates? Or do we spread them across 4 different boxes? Buy 2 of each box or something. Where's the bank? Who's yoinked the bank? Down this way somewhere. Wow, holy frame rates, Batman. Or lack of. Tell me back in the city. Jesus.
Sinu Amanore.
Right. Where are they? Dark particles. I think this is a search. Dark particles. There we go.
Adiel Shala.
Everything has a price, if you are willing to pay it.
Right then. Right then. We got enough for 10. I think we got enough for 10 boxes. Not that I can determine if any one box is worth more than another. So, because of that, I think I might just spread them out. We might just buy 2 of each. That's going to limit our duplicates. That said, I do already have a lot of these. But we'll see. 2 of them. And a bonus one of them. And a bonus one of them. Why not? And we've run out of dark particles. There we go. Perfect.
Come back anytime.
Right, what do we get then? Fetish of the vanquished foe. Skull in a bag. Skull in a bag. Regional sale average, 8k. We take that. Forest Tiki Twin Blade. A Pokey Stick. Regional sale average of 10k. Bulging Elven Field Pouch. Dindoroi Magister's Gavel. Regional sale average 8k. Oh, fuck off. We got the same one twice out of 2. There was us trying to minimize the amount of duplicates we get. Oh well. Frost Deep Spider Fang. Now there's no indication that any of these are like rarer or less rarer than others, but since they're all unique appearances. Ah, you are shitting me. Twice in a row, we got the same one twice. We've been skamazed. Okay. Twilight Captain's Short Sword. Purple Pokeboy. Cultist Sacrificial. Bit boring, that one. Bit boring, bit bland. Last bag. Skullbearer's Stave. Oh, snap. That's gotta be a cool one. That's a good one. Putting money on that being worth a fair amount long term. But yeah, all of these are unique appearances. Where I get doubles, I could start learning them myself, or I could just, you know, sell them on another realm. I kind of have a sneaky suspicion that these might be. Because you got to think of it from the perspective, if somebody wants one of the appearances, think about what it takes to get one of the appearances. There's like 15, 16 different items in each bag, and there's 4 different bags, and you've got to farm the dark particles. If somebody just wants an appearance, it's actually stupid for them to go out and try and farm that one appearance, because they're loot boxes. You've got a 1 in 16 chance of actually getting the one you want. This is going to mean that long term, people will just buy the appearance that they want. Or nobody will pay any attention to these 5 minutes after the patch, but you know, it's a risky take. Now, in theory, all of these should actually be in groups already. Amani bag, Elven bag, Twilight bag, Arnie bag. Yeah, so fortunately, we can just throw these on the auction house and call it a day. Good, 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 good. Quick cancel on the ones that we've already got listed. You might notice a lot of mine get listed at just astronomically stupid high prices. This is because I'm in no rush to sell these. I have no desire to sell them off quote-unquote cheap. In fact, I would partly quite like to wait until people stop farming the content and the supply of them dries up, because that's when you sell them for stupid high prices. No rush to get the gold. That's why a lot of them will go in at normal price, and my normal price is just something absolutely silly. Now, in theory, I shouldn't be posting all of these on the main character that I'm playing. I already have inventory problems, but, you know, it's a problem for another day. Alrighty. That kept me busy for a lot longer than I expected it to keep me busy for. What time is it? Oh, okay, okay. Right, I've got about an hour. Need to find something to keep us... What's, Oh. Do I need... Where's... there's this quest over... There's one of these quests over here where you take control of the beastie thing. And you have to kill 100 things. I accidentally did that quest without being in a raid group and completed the quest, which is annoying because I only got 33 out of the 100 kills I needed. So there's a world quest I need to wait for it to pop up over here. Other than that, this zone can go jog on. Before I do anything, I must take a pee. I'll be back in 2. Okie dokie. Okie dokie 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 dokie. I don't think I need to do a huge amount on my main character, actually. I need to kind of remember it's reset day tomorrow. So if there's anything that's, like, dramatic we should be getting done before we have a reset, I don't really think there is. What I might do, considering this guy is, like, I don't need any gear on this dude. He's pretty much gear capped. Oh, hang on. Let me convert up some of these crests that we've got. Convert up some of these crests and see if we can upgrade anything. Hello?
We are united in purpose. Fair skies and strong winds. The skies call to me. Until next time. There is much to discover.
So what's that left me with? 39 myth crests. That's a weird number. How have I ended up with like 39? Why is it not 40? That's going to mean I'm one short to upgrade something, isn't it? Oh, ha! Yeah, I told you I'm pretty much gear capped on this dude. There's nothing I've really got that I can upgrade. I can upgrade that by a rank. Whoop-de-doo. I still kind of refuse to do Mythic Plus.
Fair skies and strong winds.
Although I've probably got a Mythic Plus key in my bags, haven't I, for something? Or do I not? Maybe I don't. I kind of should, in theory, do a 10. Just so I get something in my vault tomorrow. Kinda should do something. Look at how much stuff I haven't done this week. I've done 2 tier 13 rituals apparently all week. Without doing a Mythic plus 10, though, I'm not going to get anything in the vault tomorrow. Oh, I've just realised I'm not even here tomorrow. I guess that doesn't matter all that much then. Right, well, there is one other option. Still missing a few bits of gears on my alts. My goal for the end of the season is to... My goal for the end of the season is to get everybody in hero gear. Then they'll all be able to smash through the new zone as and where needed. Why do you rate M plus so much? I just simply don't enjoy doing it. It's the opposite of enjoyment to me. It's negative levels of enjoyment for Mythic Plus for me. There's too much there's too much toxicity in getting into groups. I personally have not taken the time to learn all of the dungeon routes and stuff, which everybody expects you to know. But, I often feel as if I don't contribute to the group properly. I don't want to put the time and the effort in to learn the dungeons because I don't really want to do them all that much. It's a bit of a circular problem that I don't enjoy it because I don't want to take the time to learn how to enjoy it. And I'm not willing to take the time to do it because, this is it really. I just don't enjoy it. I never really have. I don't discredit other people who can find enjoyment from it, but it's just not for me. Just not for me. Champion necklace. Necklace still needs an upgrade. Braces could do with an upgrade. Boots could do with an upgrade. And a trinket. So I'm about 4 pieces of gear short. Which is what? 3,000 field accolades? 3,000 field accolades will get me the rest of the gear I need. So, with the gear I've got, doing some rituals is not a terrible move because it will give me some crests.
Your clever little riftwalkers have found
Skip.
your target.
I've already ventured to both places, yes.
We are not charging in through another portal blind, Decimus.
I don't particularly want to go to the new zones, though I am intrigued by just cycling round, killing rares in the new zone. If that ends up being easier and more efficient than running rituals, not sure.
We shall not falter.
All of these boxes and stuff I don't really need to be doing.
Master your demons.
At 263 item level, I'm probably not very well equipped to be doing tier 6 rituals, but I can probably bang out some tier 5s, and you still get pretty good results from tier 5s, I think. Let's go and have a poke about. Let's go try and do... Let's go have a little play in the rituals, see what we can do on this dude. Hard being a serious goblin with limited time whilst tackling endgame group content as well. It's not even so much of a time commitment really. It really does just boil down to the gameplay loop of Mythic Plus. I don't gain enjoyment from. Like, I play the video game to do the things in the game I enjoy, and I'm just honest with myself that it's one aspect of the game I don't enjoy. And so I don't force myself to do an avenue of gameplay I don't enjoy. quite simply. Of course, there's also always the option that, you know, I could pull in some streamer privileges and grab a bunch of you guys, and we could do like stream runs and whatever, which would, you know, potentially make the process more enjoyable. But I also think from an entertainment perspective, there is no limit of the number of streamers out there that end up just being Mythic Plus streamers. I would be more inclined to, you know, do Mythic Plus offline with, you know, some of the stream viewers. Six of 6, it's recommends for 274. We're not 274, not by a mile. Let me try. Requires 4 challenges. Just put them all on. Let me try tier 5. This dude. See if we just get nuked or not. I still die occasionally on my 280 plus hunter, so I've got to be slightly cautious of these, but Ret Paladin just goes burr and things die, so it might be alright. I am a bit of a ritual enjoyer, though. I have come to quite like these rituals. As progressive solo content, I definitely think I enjoy the rituals more than I enjoy delves. They both kind of have their place. Delves are now really good to get you the initial gear. And rituals are something that seems to be more valuable to farm it for the crests. Might have overpulled a little bit here. Yeah, I don't know my limits in here yet. Nor do I remember how to play a Ret Paladin, clearly. Because I didn't even use lay on hands. Whoops. Or bubble. Or any of my other defensives for that matter. Yeah, and for me doing Mythic Plus on stream, it becomes one of those things that because I don't really want to take the time to learn the routes and all of this sort of bit and mechanics of all the bosses and stuff, I would actually have to like pretty hardcore focus on what the hell I'm doing all the time. Which I feel would dramatically tap into my ability to put on at least a bit of a show. Not that I'm exactly, you know, doing the biggest of shows right now, but I can at least still maintain a bit of a conversation. With Mythic Plus, I'd probably just have to tunnel it, and that's no fun for anybody. I wonder if I should use my interrupt on here, or should I use a stun? On my hunter, I just frost trap him, because that interrupts and it doesn't take my interrupt. I wonder what my solution is for that dude on Paladin. Could just probably stun him, so then my interrupt is kept for something I need to interrupt. The alternative is I just go sword and... Oh, I don't have sword and board, though. This is the problem. I'd go prot, but I don't actually have a sword or a shield. And he'd just be stunned and then he goes away? Yeah, okay, that's what I'm going to do with that then. Be interesting actually after a couple of runs of this to see how many dark particles we get from this as well. Every mob is dropping some in. Now, not clearing the entire thing. My focus is to just like clear it relatively efficiently. And completion. More completion bonuses is what we're after, because that gives us the field accolades. 750 of each gives us then a piece of gear. Hero piece of gear. Do I have my full set on this guy? Yeah. At least I've got my 4-piece set at least on this character. I'm going to accidentally pull these if I'm not careful. I don't want to pull these. Ow. Give me a green blob. Give me a green blob. There's a green blob. Oh, fuck. Where have you come from now? Oh, please don't pull those elites. I don't want to have to fight more elites than I need to. Gotcha, bitch. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh god. Oh god, this is not going to go well. Okay. It went surprisingly well. If in doubt, pull more. Seems to work. Oh, fuck off. Yeah. I know what I just said about Mythic Plus, and then I suddenly realised I am pretty locked in still doing this. Oh well. I can partly make the excuse we're making gold at the same time because of the dark particles, but I think that's stretching, isn't it? Ow. Definitely one of these abilities needs to be interrupted or avoided. I'm not used to face tanking this dude. Ow! Yeah, your swipey bitch is painful. Very painful. What's he? Why is he doing so much fucking damage? Alright, only second death. Whoops. Do we try and clear some of these out? I'm starting to think it might not be a terrible idea to actually do some of the game modes. Is anybody else wondering why they haven't made field accolades like Warbound yet? I was convinced that they were going to do it. They haven't done it yet though, have they? Oh no, I didn't mean that to pull fucking half the map. Shit. They want you to go back and farm it on your ults. Well, I mean, clearly. Be too easy if it was Warbound. I mean, it would remove, obviously, an element of progression for your ults. But part of the whole World of Warcraft mantra is kind of meant to be that once you've done it once, it should be easier the next time round on an ult, right? That's kind of the point. They could make them... They could, you know... This is why often they've made, like, player power related currencies not warbound, but made them tradable with attacks. Meaning that it's... You do lose... You get the luxury of farming it on a main who's geared and can probably farm them efficiently, but you get less of them for your ults or something like that. You know, a bit of a negotiation tactic. But not having them soulbound, having you to have to do the progression all over again isn't very ult friendly in my opinion. What is in theory meant to be a catch-up system from the word go, right? Okay, I have a lack of interrupts on the paladin by the looks of things. Playing Ret anyway. What's the cooldown on reboot? Oh, it's only 15 seconds. Well, I can live with 15 seconds. We warbound in Season 3 when nobody cares anymore. Well, yeah. Oh, the hell is that? Torn. What? Okay. Why have I just randomly got a quest? Somber slash. What's the thing that causes me a lot of pain? Probably reckless fury. Feels like I should probably kite him when he's being all reckless. Or just nuke his ass faster. Nuke his ass faster, that also works. Played the game long enough to know how Blizzard thinks. Well, I mean, I don't doubt you're right. By the time nobody cares is about the same time they make it easily accessible. Oh, I've just realised I don't have drop combat on a paladin, do I? Whoops. Let's not pull everything. Oh, snap. Summon Earth. Clip this, watch it back in 3 months. I mean, you're absolutely spot on. Like that, they give the quality of life systems to players pretty much exclusively at the point where they are kind of no longer really needed. That's kind of the design, I think. Because heaven forbid it, you know, taps into engagement time. It's why it always feels like a little bit of a false promise when Blizzard are like, oh yes, we're respecting players' time. Like, no you're not. You are optimizing the game specifically in order to extract as much time as you physically can. How can you be respecting players' time whilst also trying to harvest as much of it as humanly possible? Which means at best we get a balance. We get a balance of what Blizzard feel they can get away with and what players will stomach. Why I've always disliked the designing the game with engagement in mind. It's only a relatively modern problem in retail. And is probably a significant reason to why a lot of people jump ship to Classic. I don't feel it as much because I'm lucky that I do get to play this game almost as much as I want. But I can totally get why people who don't have that flexibility look at some of the chores that Blizzard puts in front of them and are just like, no. Just no. Right, this pigeon always annoys me as well. Let's see if we can just nuke this pigeon down nice and fast. Need to stand in this so it doesn't go totally boom. Also not getting hit by a breath. That wasn't too bad. Now, I forgot to set a timer for being in here, but I only logged onto the character 23 minutes ago, so I can't have actually been in here all that long. 10, maybe 15 minutes for this run. Probably 50, probably closer to 15 minutes. Which is not bad for this gear in a T5. Let's just see what we get in terms of field accolades at the end of it. Still feels like we might need like 3 runs probably per piece of gear, maybe.
Show them what awaits.
Gotta nuke these fast because these ads weirdly tend to hurt.
I was just beginning.
Oh my god.
Flames overwhelm you. Show them what awaits. My flames overwhelm you. I was just beginning.
Definitely too much movement in this. Oh, something stings.
My
Just
flames
nuke him now. Nuke him now.
overwhelm you.
Get dead. Get deaded. Oh, okay.
This is
That means a tier 5 with all challenges on at 263 is not impossible. Did lose a little bit of me spoils, to be fair, by dying a couple of times. But we did still get, only 99 field accolades. Oh, that's a lot less than I thought it was going to be. That's a lot less than I thought it was going to be. 99 field accolades is not fun. Do we get any for killing any of the bosses or anything en route? Or do we only get the field accolades at the end? We do only get the field accolades at the end. Ugh. Gross. That means actually doing tier 5s at that sort of pace is going to feel very horrible to get those last few bits of gear. I don't want to have to do like 7 or 8 runs just to get a single piece of gear. Does this mean that they've made it so farming rares in the new zone really is the meta for getting field accolades and getting your hero gear? I was really hoping that wasn't going to be the case. But that's too few to make running these a smart move. That's too few. Boxes are warbound, so you could, in theory, do it on your main, but like you said, it's still a lot of runs. Wait, the boxes are warbound now? The 750... Are they? I mean, if that's the case, it basically means field accolades are warbound. Are they? I mean, if they are, yeah, I'd probably just farm them on my main. I need to double check that now. They didn't used to. Is that something they've checked? Let's go and have a look. Go and have a look. At that point, why not make field accolades just a warbound transferable currency? Why have it be soulbound? Binds to warband. Huh, so they are. So they are. Well, that's a twist. So why not just make the currency warbound? Transferable. Why lock the currency down? Why bother locking the currency down if all the things you buy with the currency is warb? Eh? What are they doing? Why go to the effort of making all of the items bind to warbound? Why not just make the currency a warbound transferable currency? Make any sense? Make any bloody sense, does it? Alright. I mean, okay, there is one slight game design reason why they might have done it this way, in that they don't want armies of alts farming the very easy weekly quests or something that give a big boost of field accolades and then mass merging all of those onto a single character and gearing up that single character really quickly. They still kind of... Doing it this way still means you have to at least earn 750 on a character at least before you can transfer it. Like, it's a minimum requirement for transfer thing. But I mean, that's clutching at straws for reasons to do it backwards. Well, in that case, then, I can just buy these items I need on the alts and then send them to my alt. Which is probably exactly what I'm going to do. I want at least to have... I need a champion pair of braces. My paladin. Oh, does
A purchase?
do these your loot specialization? Okay, so I don't have to buy it on another. Yeah, I was just checking. I didn't have to buy it on another plate character or something first.
May my goods serve you well.
Right. So instead of making it instead of making them warbound transferable, now I have to figure out what item I want, log on to the character that can easily farm them and get the currency, then buy the item, then send it via the warbank to the alt. It's making the player jump through 14 extra hoops, whereas it could just be warbound transferable currency. No, that's clearly too easy. Theory that they wanted bind on pickup in season 1 and to convert to bind on warbound is too simply just to set bind to warbound bits on items versus making transfer. The boxes weren't warbound from the start, so that is a change. They've recently changed them to be warbound. They changed it after the 12.07 release. Oh, well, okay, I'm kind of glad I wasn't going completely mad then. I'm glad that's a change that's been made that I just had somehow missed. But I still don't get why the field accolades can't just be a warbound transferable currency. Oh, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be because, of course, field accolades are used in other things as well, aren't they? Or are they? Are they not used in, like, buying... Obviously, this is just the gearing side of things. Maybe they don't, maybe there's other things that they, for some reason, don't want to... I don't know. It still seems odd. Still seems odd. This character, then, needs to buy a pair of gloves. Hero gloves. There we go. Now I need to go put that in the warbank. Well, no I don't, do I? I just mail it over. shit, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where's it gone? Where the fucking hell did it go? Oh, it's here. Christ on a bicycle. Forming this will also make it non-refundable. Yes. Now we log back out to the other character again. Also notice that if you sit down during fishing, you are no longer safe from the attacking bloodhunter fishes. Before patch, this was an easy free fix to avoid the fish. Now you're forced to use the food. Interesting change. Came with the same hotfix that buffed the Najtal Val rewards. Oh, okay. Yeah, I must have just glossed over those notes. This whole process is made still significantly longer, though, with the way they've implemented it. It would be much, 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 much easier if it's just a warbound currency and I can transfer it from wherever I need to. It would also remove all this need to log in, log out, get two characters in the same place. You know, it's just a faff. Anyway, this should give me a hero pair of gloves, which we can go throw in the catalyst. Not that I need the 5th set of tier, because I've already got the 4-piece, but... I mean, I guess doing it all on a main and then transferring the currency is quicker to get the currency, but you don't get the other crests and things that you get and need by playing on the character. So it's still kind of a little bit of a, you know, there's still a little bit of reason to do it on the actual character itself. What I am trying to do though is by getting a piece of hero gear in every slot, it will also mean I can then convert all the crests up as well. Not that I have enough crests for it to make a big difference right now. Let's at least get that to 2 of 6. That's a free upgrade. Then I'm running short on hero dawn crests like really fast as well.
If needed, I will answer the call.
In unity, find strength.
I still think it might take me too long to bother doing this. I think I'm probably going to go along the lines of once I've got my hero set on a character, then I'm probably just chilling. I don't think I'm going to, you know, this dude's already like 360 item level, which 260 item level, more than enough to go do 12-1 content comfortably as well. Probably not going to worry too much about pushing it any further. Oh, 127 dark particles. So close to a box on this character as well. Right. I'll tell you what, boys and girls, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I've got some stuff I need to get done this afternoon anyway. I'm actually not here for a few days now. I've mentioned this a couple of times, but in case you missed it, I am away. I've got a small 2-night vacation with the wife, celebrating our 10th wedding anniversary. We don't go away too often. That's going to keep me busy for a few days. So you probably won't see me till Monday now. You won't see me till Monday because I've got this little vacation, and then I've got a bit of a busy weekend, and then I'll be back on Monday. So I won't see you for a little while, but have a wonderful rest of the week. Have a wonderful reset. Best of luck with your vaults. Best of luck with the goal making. And yeah, come say hi on the Discord. I'll still be lurking in the Discord from time to time. I'll actually try and get the 12.1 mini Goblin survival guide document shared later as well. I just need to make a few slight amendments to it, polish it a little bit, and then I'll get that shared in the Discord. There's not a huge amount going on in 12.1, but there's enough to maybe, you know, pay attention to if you haven't jumped on the PTR yourself. I'll share that in the Discord later today. But yeah, have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you for stopping by. If you've dropped some bits, if you've subbed, if you've hit that follow button, if you've watched an ad, if you've just lurked in the background, I appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your week. See you later. Peace.